Hello again, Lover Scout 1. Quite a few of you have PM'd me regarding the Pathfinder 1 knife, or I think it's called the PSK1, or PLSK1. I stand to be corrected. When I saw this on Dave Canterbury's site, I thought, yeah, looks like a thing that I could own and use, is that. And Mike at Strat 2206 got one before. Well, I think we ordered ours about the same time, but Mike's turned up real quick, and mine seemed to take forever to come. But anyway, the knife is based on a trade knife. The pattern's a trade knife, an old American trade knife pattern, and it's made by a company called Blind Horse Knives. I don't know if you can see their logo on there, and it's Scandinavian ground. It's a big thick chunk of steel. You can see that the weight is real well forward. Loveless bolts in it, nice Makata handles, nice lanyard hole, and this is one I've just used for, it's been my sort of bushcraft knife for the past sort of 6 months or so. I've never had a Makata handled knife before, but I really do like it. I didn't think I was going to get on with it, but I really do like it. The knife is pretty much just a broad Scandinavian pattern knife, shall we say, but it's, like I say, it's modelled off an old trade knife. The steel's of excellent quality. I've not had any problems with it rusting. It does mark really quite badly with the fire steel, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not a great fan of using a knife on a fire steel. It doesn't, it's not something that it's not a practice I've ever done really. I know a lot do, and I know that's the norm, but it's not something that I've ever done. I do like the scabbard. It's leather and kydex, so the leather's against either your pants or your skin, or if you're carrying it, you've got leather rubbing against you rather than kydex, which can make you quite sore, or can damage your kit. I do like this feature, which is like a lock which closes the kydex up so that you can't physically get it out. I mean, if you start yarking on it, you can move it, but it's it's a good idea. And I also like, I don't know if you can see that there, there's a stud there that comes out which opens the flap up, and the Pathfinder guys do a do a metal spear point which you can lash to a pole to use as a pig sticker, or use it for hunting or self-defense or whatever. And that does come with quite a chunky leather sheath, but if you don't want to carry two leather sheaths on your belt, that nut does undo, and it opens the scabbard right up, and it's made for the Pathfinder spear point, so you can carry the spear point and the knife at the same time. It comes with a really good Swedish fire steel. I think it's like my fire one. There's no marks on it to indicate that it is, but I think that's in the blurb. I think that's what they say it was. I really like it. And for the past few months I've not used any other knife. Now that my jackalaw's come, I don't know, this might be relegated to ideas and holidays. I hope not, because I like having this on my belt. It's comfortable to use. There's some really good jimping there. I don't know if you can see that. There's some really good jimping there, and you can because the knife is so broad, you can really get up. You can choke up on it for really sort of intricate carving tasks. This finger sort of choil there, you can grip up onto it, and the thumb just matches where the jimping is. So it's a very comfortable knife to use. Retains its edge very well. You could batten with it. I mean, I don't batten with my knives, and that's just a personal thing. And I really like it. I know they're a chunk of money. I think these are about $275, so you sort of 200 quid touch with postage and stuff. I've always found with Pathfinder School, if you're going to buy something, I think you always get a better deal if you can save up and buy a chunk of stuff, and spend a little bit with them, and then they're a lot better on postage. And I found if I buy sort of 5 or 6 items, they come really quickly. If you just buy one thing, they kind of, it's not, I don't think it's down at Pathfinder School, it's down to the American postage system. They get sort of just, you know, if it you know, they sort of check it and, oh, there's just one thing in it, or it's on the list and, right, it's only one thing. You know, it's my experience that they just don't do it as, you know, they don't get them to you as quick as they possibly could. But I mean, I know Dave Dave Canterbury has a lot to say about this knife, and he probably does a better review of it than I could do. Dave's got a custom-made leather sheath, which is a Scandinavian sort of dropper sheath for his, which is really smart. And I was talking to Mike at Strat 2206 about sort of modifications to his sheath, and he said he was going to leave his alone. But what I thought I might do, and if you ever read Dave's book, or you get into his sort of 10 C's of survivability, what he does suggest is sticking a cloth sail needle to the back, or, you know, the front of the scabbard, so you've got it with you. But what I thought about doing is these 3 grommets just lend themselves to having a load of sail thread stitched through them, and then you've got knife, fire steel, your needle, and you've got thread to, you know, to affect any repairs if this is all you've got. So, you know, and that thread is strong wax cord. You could use it, you know, you could use it for improvised cordage, for putting a shelter together. You could use it for, you know, you could use it for fishing line. There are other uses rather than just for, you know, for stitching your coat back together or stitching your pants back together. So, you know, it's something that I considered doing. It's just one of those mods that, you know, would only take 10 minutes, and once you've got it in front of you, wouldn't take 10 minutes to effect. But it's just one of those things that you know, you want to get round to and should. So Pathfinder 1, the Pathfinder School does a good range of knives, and if you ever get to have a look on their website, there is some, you know, some good knives. They do make a nice Nessmuck knife. They make some trade knives with quite big roached belly blades, and I think they're made by a company called Hablis. But they do make another knife very similar to this, with lighter coloured micarta handles in a leather scabbard, called the Scout. And to me, that looks a really, really good knife. It looks a cracking knife. Now, if you're a collector or a user of knives, or both, or, you know, you collect knives just to cover and look at, or you collect knives to use and abuse, then I don't think you'd be disappointed with this. It's one that I've sort of carried since I bought it, and a lot of people have said to me, especially clients, "Buy, that's a good knife. Where's that come from?" And I've gone out and ordered one on strength, and me just sort of showing them, you know, what it can do around camp. It is an able game preparation knife. You could prepare game with it, but it's more suited really to you know, your field tasks, to your carving, to your, you know, your preparing and you know, producing timber that you can use for your fire, and, you know, processing that timber so that you can use it. And I haven't got a bad word to say about this. It's excellent kit. I've had excellent service from Pathfinder School and from Dave Canterbury and his guys. They always look after me. I know when they first got going with their mail order, and if you look at some of the forums on the internet, there are some people that are a bit disgruntled and a bit upset about packages packages going astray. But I know Dave does subscribe to the Bushcraft UK forums, and I'm pretty sure everybody that had a, not a complaint, but had a concern, I think he addressed them personally. So you know, I'm not endorsed by Pathfinder School or anything like that, but the products are really good, and their site's evolving. Their learning and their e-learning looks very good. I know Mike at Strat 2206 is going down that road with some e-learning and stuff, and it's something I've thought about, but just at this moment in time I'm just too busy. But it would be something, if I had a little bit of spare time, that I would like to do. So guys, the Pathfinder one, if you don't like the look of that, then check out the Scout knife. They do, like I said, the Scout is very similar to that, but different setup with a scabbard and one thing and another, and it doesn't have a fire steel on as far as I'm aware. And to be honest with you, I'm not overly fussed about having a fire steel with a knife. I'd much rather carry my fire steel on my person. Then if I lose my knife, I've still got, you know, at least got you know, something that I can make a spark with. You know, I'm pretty sure I could fashion a flint or something like that to make a spark. But I know, you know, good practice tells us knife and a fire steel, and you know, you've got, you know, out of the 10 C's of survivability, you've got 2 of them there. You know, if you've got cutting tool, combustion device, which is what that is, you have a cover, which could be a wool blanket or a tarp or you know, a big wool sweater or something like that. And then the only other one after that is container, be it a stainless steel container, Crusader mug, Pathfinder mug, you know, those Tratonka mugs or whatever they're called, and then some cordage. You've got 5 C's there. I might go into the 10 C's of survivability because it's quite interesting, and it's something that we could discuss and, you know, have a bit of feedback from. Right guys, thank you very much for your interest. Please like, comment and subscribe. I've got lots more videos coming up. I'm going to try and do quite a few of these little quick videos because I've got you know, sort of ideas bubbling under the stuff that I want to do. And then what I think I'll do is I may take you out on a little trip, and we'll go and look at some of the deer stalking rides and some of the game, you know, the game birds and one thing or another, if that's of any interest to you. We'll, you know, we'll have a look at that, and you know, I'll just point stuff out, and we might go for a little preamble through the woods and talk about that. Another one I do want to talk about is everyday carry on carabiners. I know quite a few of you have carabiner everyday carries, and if I can just move my camera a little bit, and there you go. That's one of my EDCs just there, my carabiner carry. So what we might do is we'll have a look around my man cave at some point, and we'll have a look at stuff, and, you know, pictures and kit, and, you know, posters and stuff that's on the wall, and, you know, there are some we take a little pan up there. I don't know if you can see it, just anyway, just there. There's some hunting trophies, and, you know, there's quite a lot of stuff in here that you might find of interest, or, you know, you might think, God, what a crap hole. Well, it is a bit of a crap hole, but it's my crap hole. So anyway, I'll get this up and later have a look, and please give me any feedback or any comments, and we'll work from there. Alright guys, thanks very much. Have a nice evening. Cheers.